Where we are sitting now is the place of bhajan and the homes of the two brothers Mukunda Datta and Vasudev Datta. According to Gauraganodashtipika, like Kavi Karnapur, they were two of the favorite singers of Goloka Vrindavan, Madhu Kanta and Madhu Brata. They would love to sing beautiful songs for the transcendental pleasure of Lord Sri Krishna. They descended here in Chattagram as Mukunda Datta and Vasudev Datta. From Chattagram they came to Navadwip. Mukunda Datta was a classmate of Lord Chaitanya. He was a very, very dear friend of his from his childhood when he was just a student. They studied at the school, the academy of Gangadas Pandit. And Mukunda Datta, he was always a very great devotee. He loved to be amongst the Vaishnavas in the house of Advaita Prabhu while he was still doing his studies. Lord Chaitanya, knowing he was such a good devotee with such love in his heart, targeted to challenge him to various materialistic debates, just to disturb his mind. So this was a regular affair where Lord Chaitanya would just challenge Mukunda Datta with some grammatical problem to solve. And every time Mukunda Datta, he was actually very learned. Every time he would answer Lord Chaitanya's questions, Lord Chaitanya would smash that answer to pieces. Then he would challenge him again, and he'd give a reply, and Lord Chaitanya would smash that argument to pieces. And Mukunda Datta just couldn't, he just wanted to talk about Krishna. But Lord Chaitanya was so expert, he would not allow him to talk about Krishna. He just kept getting him more and more entangled and embroiled in scholarly debates. So it came to the point where Mukunda Datta, he had such love for Lord Chaitanya. He had such love for this Nimai Pandit. But at the same time, he couldn't tolerate being with him because it was just such apparent waste of time. Rupa Goswami explains what is the quality of a great devotee. A person who does not waste time. A person who knows how precious every moment of life is and will not forget Krishna for that moment. Moment after moment after moment, a devotee is very careful and acutely conscientious not to forget Krishna, to remember Krishna. All the rules, all the regulations, all the philosophical presentations of all the scriptures are all servants to support the two most important of all regulations. To always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Vishnu Purana describes the greatest tragedy in the whole universal creation is for a moment to go by without remembering Krishna. So how can you remember Krishna when Nimai Pandit is just entangling your entire mind and intelligence in all kinds of scholarly problems and defeating? Little did he know that he was remembering Krishna, because Lord Nimai Pandit is Krishna. Nimai was actually engrossing him completely in remembering him without even knowing it was Krishna. So it is described one time Nimai was walking with his students and Mukunda was walking toward him. And as soon as he saw Nimai, he ran in the opposite direction. And Nimai asked his students, why is Mukunda run away like this? They said, because he must have some very pressing appointment somewhere else and he had to go. He said, no, that is not the reason. It's because Mukunda is a Vaishnava and he only likes to talk about Krishna. And he knows I will engage him in scholarly debates. Therefore, he has run away from me because he doesn't want to forget Krishna. And then he very loudly and boldly, Lord Chaitanya looked toward Mukunda and said, Mukunda, Mukunda, now you are running away from me. But soon, I will become such a Vaishnava that Brahma and Shiva and all the great devas, they will all be coming to associate with me. Sukadeva and Narada will not be able to give up my association. The students heard him speaking, but they could not understand that he was actually telling truth due to the power of his yoga mind. So when Lord Chaitanya returned from Gaya and manifested his ecstatic love of Godhead and manifested this Harinam Sankirtan movement, Mukunda Datta became one of his most intimate, inseparable, loving devotees. When Mukunda Datta sang in kirtan, all the devotees' hearts would melt in love. He sang so very, very sweet, with such pure, intimate devotion. The devotees could not give up his association. There are many stories about Mukunda's beautiful singing. There is a story when Ishwara Puri came to Navadwip. He was wearing very, very simple, poor man's dress of a sannyasi, and nobody really knew who he was. They just thought he was just an ordinary beggar. He came to Advaita Prabhu's house. Advaita Prabhu was doing his puja, and Ishwara Puri sat right across from him just watching Advaita do puja, and Advaita Prabhu was just staring at him. There is something special about this person. He looks like an ordinary kind of Mayavadi beggar, but there's something about this person that's attracting my heart. Advaita Prabhu asked him, who are you and where have you come from? And Ishwara Puri said, I am the most sinful, fallen, lowly outcast, and I have come here just to see you. Then Mukunda Datta, sensing something very special about this personality, began to sing. As soon as Ishwara Puri heard Mukunda Datta's sweet, loving voice glorifying Krishna, he went into a trance of ecstatic love. And as soon as everybody saw the nature of his love, they all understood, this is the great Ishwara Puri, foremost disciple of Madhavendra. Yes, Mukunda Datta was a constant companion of Advaita Prabhu, Srivas Thakur, and all of these great Vaishnavas. Lord Chaitanya engaged him in singing kirtan in the most important incidences. At the house of Srivas Pandit, he was regularly the lead kirtan every night. During the Sat Praharya Leela, when Lord Chaitanya manifested his ecstasies and revealed his divine incarnations for 21 hours to his devotees, that whole Sat Praharya Leela began with Lord Chaitanya asking Mukunda Datta to begin the kirtan. And from there, the ecstasies of 21 hours was inaugurated. He was one of the lead kirtan singers in Jagannath Puri of the 7 parties. Mukunda Datta sang so sweetly, with such devotion.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on thesacredconnect.com.